Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays and welcome back to some more Hold My Beer high damage in meh tanks. So we have two replays for you today, and both of them are kind of meh. The tanks are not bad, but then they're really not great. And first up we have the AMX 5120. Now the AMX 50B is a very good tank. However, the 5120 is not so good. It's not bad, but for me the armor just lets it down. Where the 120, I mean the 50B has actually quite good armor. The front plate is not bad. The turret is a bit trollish. However, this just has nothing, and it is driven by RNG Ghost. And what a game this is going to be. So the first minute of the game, one tank of his is down. He's been shot, and already it is an upwards task for him to be able to carry. Now he does have his I think it's the Sheridan there that has managed to cross the river. On this map, this side, if you go this side of the map, then yes, you need to take that. You need to take the river. You have to. Otherwise, you're just going to get absolutely deleted from the enemy mediums, and there's no point. If the enemy has much more mediums than you, if they have like 3 mediums and you only have 1, I would literally suggest to go to the left side to sort of counter that. Maybe start capping just to force them into coming around from the river, where they literally, if you go the other way, then the mediums that cross the river will literally be no good and they will be out of the game. So that's what I would recommend to do if more mediums do go sort of this side of the map, or if the enemy has more mediums. But if you're both the same, then you have to cross the river. You have to. Whoever crosses the river pretty much controls the game, as long as the mediums have the heavies to protect them. Of course, without the heavies here, then the medium tanks will just be no good over the river. So far 3.6k damage. His team is vanishing. 3 against 5 now. He does take out the Emil. He's lost a little bit of hit points, but not too much. But yeah, there's a lot of work to do. The AMX 50B is just about to get gone from the T57 Heavy, who I think has 1 shell left, but he is a one-shot. So even though he's reloading, he's going to wait until he reloads, and he is going to try and rush this T57 Heavy if he can. He doesn't want to rush him too much or too quick, because there is other tanks that are around him, as you can now see here. So 2 shots there on the IS-7. He just gets out of the gun, and there goes the FE4AA5. So he's gone for the reload. He now has 1,000 hit points left, and it is a 2 versus 4. The Sheridan is quite healthy. The Standard B is quite healthy, however. Getting 3 shots of HE into the Standard B would just about clear him. Most tanks can clear most tanks can shoot HE into the Standard B. So I think he should have maybe shot a couple of HE. He does have the sides, and he finally does, and he gets a nice high roll. But it is now a 1 versus 2. So he's just going to get out of the way whilst he's reloading. Just manages to get out of the way there. Obviously he's not going to attack these guys. There's a medium tank who he may be able to take a one shot off, maybe, if he's lucky, but you won't be able to take the shot from the IS-7. So he has plenty of time left on the clock. He has fully reloaded his 3 shells, and now here comes the Leopard. PTA gets a lovely high roll there, which puts him down to a 1 shot. Gets a lovely low roll from the Leopard the Leopard PTA as well. So that now leaves him only on 112 hit points with just 1 tank left alive. Now he's already on 7.3k damage, which is insane for a tank like the 5120. So he's just going to wait. He's going to be very patient here, and he is just waiting to see if the IS-7 is going to come around the corner. He might come from the left side, he might come from the right side, but no, the IS-7 starts to cap, which is great for him, because he, at least now, he knows exactly where he is. Now, the problem he's got now, that he has to make a move. The IS-7 is putting pressure on him. So he needs to make the move. But when does he make the move? Does he make it now, or does he wait until sort of near the end? Now, also, he has to be quite lucky in what direction the IS-7 is actually facing. He could get very unlucky. He could get spotted any moment now, and the IS-7 could be looking at him, or he could be unlucky, or he could be very lucky, and as you can see, the IS-7 is not looking, just manages to get the 2 shells, and he clears him. Lovely game from Ghost there in the AMX-50 120, 7,899 damage. Makes quite a nice amount of credits there, 98,000 on a tech tree tank, which is great, and almost 1,900 base XP, 22 shots fired, and 20 of them penned, which is great. Next up, we have Get Wrecked, and he is driving the Motion. Now, again, this tank is just a big barrel of hit points. Just a big barrel of hit points, and that is all this tank is. A tier 9, and it has 2,544 hit points, which is crazy for a tier 9 tank. Now, when this tank was first released, I really enjoyed the tank. Not many people knew how to deal with it, where nowadays it's just an average tank, nothing special. It's slow, doesn't have the best of armors, albeit the hatch on top is quite troll. It is easily pennable, but it's only easily pennable if the tank is stationary and sort of not moving. Then you can just fully aim in, and you can just sort of shoot the middle part quite easily. And of course, if you start to angle your tank, then the worse your armor actually becomes, especially your turret. You start angling your turret, and because it's all sort of flat all around, you start angling your turret, then the second part of the turret becomes quite weak, and that's the same with your track, the side of your tracks. You start angling and they become quite weak as well. So it's a very difficult tank to play. You've got to get the angles just right to be able to bounce anything, and of course you have that front plate as well, the middle part, which is easily penned, and you pretty much your whole front plate, with people switching to premium ammo, it's quite easily pennable. So he's dealing with this Ferdinand here, leaves him on literally 73 HP, just a one shot. He's on 880 damage, hasn't taken any hit points at the moment, and there I get a message, popular me. So he's just going to wait. Again, it's going to be a little bit patient. He's going to have to carry his team, just like the other game that we see. So he's going to get the shot on the T30, and then he's just going to back up out of the way. As you can see, there's like 3 heavies. Also, there is the light tank round there. But everyone's around here. All his team are around here. So he can play, if he wanted to, he could play a little bit aggressive. Him and this VK100 could even go a little bit further and just scare the enemy a little bit, because these are 2 massive tanks with armor. When played correctly, the armor is good. If you get your angles right, then yeah, the armor is actually really good. But you get your angles wrong, then that's when you're just going to start being penetrated all day long. So far 2.5k damage. He's going to rush the T49 here. The Motion isn't the best tanks for a T49 to come up against, as it only has the heat and it only has the HE. So he's not going to really be able to penetrate him. Maybe from the side, of course, he will be able to penetrate him, but it's still going to be difficult for him to penetrate him. Now he's going for the HE to try and clear the T49 much quicker, and there you see he does get that bounce. Of course, the T49 is never going to pen a tank like this in that kind of angle. So he's now trying to run away. Does he manage to get the shot off? Of course he does, and he does clear him for his first kill. 1900 block damage now. He's up to 3.5k damage, so he's already done a decent enough damage, and pretty much he's carrying his team, but there's still a lot of hit points left. Nice shot there onto the side of the leather, who just doesn't want to know him. He wants to know the tank's pretty much in front, and he has to get this close to him for him to even recognize him, but he's still not focusing him, and the E75 does take him out. So nice shot there on the T32, and now he's just going to back up. He may take a shot from the T32, but he needs to get out of the way, otherwise the tanks is just going to have some side shots. But no one wants to know him. No one literally wants to know him. He's still basically full hit points, and he's on 5k damage. It's a 3 versus 3, and I suppose people have every right not to pay attention to him, but they could sort of at least get into a position where they can't get shot as easy as they are getting shot. They are literally just showing their sides. At least they're trying to focus the same tanks, but you know, when you are just out in the open, if you're gonna shoot the same tanks as your team, make sure you're just in a position where at least you're trying to defend your hit points from the green team as well. So up to 2,900 block damage now. He's on 5.3k damage, and he's going to try and HE this waffle for a nice amount of damage, but he only manages to get 268. He's still been bouncing these shots though. The angles are working, and someone even turned to you know what, screw it, let's shoot HE at him. Yeah, not the best of ideas, and hopefully he does that time get a nice HE roll into that waffle, clearing him. So the E75 now, these two last remaining tanks are going to focus the E75, which again is the right decision, because he has the motion in front and he has a tank behind, so he is actually getting shot from all different angles. Now our guy here, Get Wrecked, knows that he's just about to get wrecked if he follows that E75, so he's going to ignore the E75 for now, and I mean he's going to ignore the motion for now and go for the easier target, and that is the IS-3. That is until he realized that the motion is a one shot. Unfortunately, doesn't quite get that lower plate shot there, but at least now he's in a position where both tanks are in front of him, which is the position you want to be in. You don't want to get into the position where there is a tank in front of you and there is a tank behind. Now, nice bait there from him to the motion, and he does clear him for his third kill, and it now just leaves him and the IS-3. Of course, the IS-3 is a lower tier tank, so this should not be a problem dealing with him. 7,400 damage. He's managed to block over 4,000 damage, which is crazy, and that is what you can do in this tank when you play it properly, but unfortunately it's just too much for the IS-3 to handle, and he does clear him for his fourth and final kill. Over 4,000 block damage, and he ends on 8,000 damage. Well played, GG. Thank you guys for sending me those replays in. More replays to come during this week. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm Meadsy, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye bye.
With